What up, good people? Welcome to another episode of the 710 of Slickville Show. I am your host, Jay Brown, a.k.a. Jay Slick, a.k.a. Mr. 710 up in here in these streets. And I'm joined once again by the wonderfully talented Erica Tiffany. How you doing today?
Fantastic. Glad to be back.
Good. And my head is blocking what this is right now. Part 2. We doing part 2. Part 1 was super dope, and so we had to do it again. I'm excited because we had such a good flow of conversation and everything like that. So part 2 is only gonna get better. And I normally don't let people in on what we're gonna talk about before I have them on the show, but I gave her a little clue so she's not too surprised by some of the conversations where this is gonna go. But like I said, guys, you know how this goes. This is an interactive show, so like, share, comment, call in. The phone number is 470-251-4343. It's right over there. I'm getting better at this. 470-251-4343. On this rundown today, we gonna have part 2 of the raising kids in the age of information and injustice conversation. We also gonna do since last week, because a lot of stuff happened since last week, and we didn't get a chance to do that last week. And then we also gonna talk about my first time. It might be what you think. Then again, it might not be what you think. But who knows? The conversation just goes there from time to time. But before we get into the part 2 of the conversation, since last week, Tiger Woods won. That's pretty dope. He almost looked like he was about to cry. And I'm proud of that guy because he went through a whole lot of adversity to get back to where he was.
He did.
People still not gonna be happy because he was out here getting his adultery on with a whole bunch of women. But those people just mad. Everybody mad. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in the chat room right now. That's what I'm talking about. I was 13. What up, Bob with the leggings? If you hadn't shared this feed, go ahead and share this feed. Go ahead and do that for your boy right now. If you don't do it, I just assume that you're a hater. But also last week, Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish still doing their thing.
The saga continues.
Yes. I don't know whose side I'm on. I almost wish I can't. I wanted to hurry up and be over with because, you hate to see folks beefing like that, and it's usually over something silly. Yeah, you don't want people to drag your friend's name through the dirt and everything like that. But I mean, Kev kind of went real strong on that man.
He did, but she handled it well.
Yeah, she did. But she did get a little shot in.
With what?
On Cat talking about, hey, did I sleep with your man or something?
Oh, yeah.
She did slide that on in there. And so, I mean, I get it. I mean, you had to go ahead and get yourself one in. Get yourself one back on that. What up? Also, since last week, an Indiana woman got in trouble. She's a school bus driver, and she was letting the kids drive the school bus. I saw that. She was letting the kids drive the school bus. So let me ask you this. If there was a situation in which one of your kids came back and said, hey, Mom, guess what I did today? I drove the school bus.
I'm going up to the school. It's over. I'm raising hell. A school bus where you have to have a special license?
A whole school bus.
I mean, that's insanity. It's insanity. These kids are what, like 11 and 12?
Yeah. So at 11 and 12, I was probably in the sixth grade.
I saw the video. She let like 3 or 4 of them ride.
She was lit too. They got it. She got it. She got it. And I'm like, yo, you cannot do that.
No, and then she's like, don't tell the parents. Don't tell anybody. All while the kids are recording.
Look, I would have been like, let me off this bus. Somebody please let me off this bus. Because you cannot feel safe letting your friends. There is not a friend that I could think of back when I was 11 and 12 that I would be comfortable with driving anything.
Let alone a school bus.
I wouldn't even want to be on the bike with them, let alone on a whole school bus.
Right.
Like we're not doing that one at all. And yeah, outside of that, you know, the Arizona congressman that had I think he got like 6 siblings, that made a whole commercial about voting against him. Like how bad of a brother do you have to be to have all your siblings say, no, we ain't voting for him. This person is not good for it at all. So I don't know what side he's on. I just heard that he got 6 siblings that's voting against him and that made a whole commercial. But if he that bad, yeah, I wouldn't want him to be voted in either. Let me put it to you like that. All right. And so we're going to get into this parenting thing. I meant to ask you, what type of kid were you growing up? Were you a nerd? Were you bad? Or you?
I was a good kid. I mean, I was a nerd. You know, I was student body president of the German club. You know, I was a kid that I was cool enough to maybe sit at the lunch table, but really because you just wanted to borrow my homework for next period. You know what I mean? So I wasn't into sports, but everybody knew I was smart enough to get the answers.
Oh.
But not quite smart enough to get to the cool kids party.
Not the cool kids party.
Nah, wasn't quite there. I get all invited to the cool kids party now.
See, I didn't get invited to the cool kids party, partially because my mom was mean, and everybody knew it.
Well, the hard part for me is because I was military. I went to literally 5 different high schools, probably 3 or 4 middle schools and elementary schools. So you didn't keep friends long enough because you always moved. So you never got a chance to be cool because you were always the new kid.
Yeah. Oh.
So you know how that is. Making friends is.
I know about moving and being a new kid. Real quick from the chat room, my uncle taught my younger cousins to drive an 18-wheeler as soon as they were tall enough. I can't even see the rest of that, but let me see. You probably can see it. You can't see it on yours either. It's okay. But yeah, I've my gosh, yeah, an 18-wheeler. I wonder if they had a trailer on the back, or if it was just a.
How long ago was that? How old is he? Because back in the day, they didn't have seat belts, kids.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody over here in this Instagram chat room. Shout out to everybody in the Facebook chat room. Like I said, guys, if you haven't shared this feed, go ahead and share this feed. Go ahead. There we go. Let me share myself right quick. Don't even worry about it. Tune in. There we go. Yeah, when we moved, we did our share moving, and I remember when I was in high school, right before I graduated, we had won the state championship, and there were people that thought I was like, they was like, yo, number 42, he good, man. We'd be glad to have him back next year. Mm-hmm. They'd only seen me 2 years, and I was like, no, fam, I'm graduating. Like this is it. This is it. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
That's all you get.
But I mean, they just saw me. They was like, "Yo, who is this little new dude making all these threes?" That's who I was. The new dude.
Always the new dude making the threes.
Making those threes. And so, let me see. I probably went to, let me see, Little Lincoln. Well, Lexington, Little Lincoln, Franklin.
Do you all the high schools?
No.
Middle schools?
No, just
period.
All the schools, period, yeah. Franklin, I went to 2 high schools, so it was Wheaton North High School and High Springs High School. So college was the longest I had been in any one school.
That's crazy.
And, I mean, it probably makes sense. Like, I have some friends from, like, the 3rd grade, but, 4th grade, yeah. But at the same time, like, between that time and then all the way up through maybe high school, like, those guys, that whole block of people that I may have met or known.
Out of here.
Have no idea where they are, who they were, or anything like that. Like, it just...
I get it. Besides high school, I mean, I have a few friends from high school, but it was all California. So coming to Georgia, there's very few people, except for the 1 year I did at, shout out to Mount Zion.
Mount Zion. Okay. So we fast forward to how you were as a kid. How would you describe your parenting style?
I said, like I said, I'm laid back. I'm kind of I'd say a new age parent where I'm not very strict. You know, I want the kids to have some basic discipline. But I'm the kind of parent that I feel like I whooped you in the beginning, so I ain't got to whoop you now. Mm-hmm. You know, Aaron's 11. He probably hasn't had a whooping in 2 or 3 years, just because I can give him the look now. I give him the talk to, and some tears probably going to come out from the talking to. And I think that's just because we had already established what's going to happen if, you know, you continue to act out, so that now that he's a little bit older, we don't even have to go there. So I let my kids talk and communicate on a regular basis. You know, I let them challenge things. For example, they say, hey, I want to go to bed at a certain time. I said, look, you want to go to bed at 9 o'clock? And they said, what about 9:30 if I do this? I'm willing to sit there and not to say negotiate, but let the kids tell me their version of why they're staying up and why we should justify it. And that not necessarily isn't always normal in this kind of age of parenting. Some people can feel like, why are you letting your kid negotiate or tell you what time they want to go to bed? But I believe in letting them make good decisions and then seeing the consequences of their decisions, and then let's make better decisions next time. So if you're late and you miss the bus and you don't catch the bus on time, well, now I'm going to move your bedtime back an hour. Mm-hmm. And let's try that. So now you've learned the actual consequence instead of just a punishment.
Has anybody ever accused you of being a parent?
A parent?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I've had some conversations like that where someone's like, that's stuff that other people would do. Black people don't do that. But I don't think I was raised in a typical black household anyway. And I was telling a lot of people, I never had soul food before I moved to Georgia. I never watched these black shows people grew up on. I was growing up on Nick at Night, Laverne and Shirley. And it was different in the military because your friends, your circle of friends were different. So I might go have lumpias tonight with my, Filipino friends and have my Samoan friends. Literally being the only black person in the class wasn't a big deal because you also had the only Samoans, the only Indians. So we were really diversified. So I got to see a lot of different parenting styles, and I was around a lot of babysitters because my parents were in the military. So I think that makes it a little bit different than the traditional black household. So I don't raise my kids that way because I wasn't raised that way.
Okay, because I was going to ask, where'd you pick up your parenting style? Because most of the time you get it from, it's usually a function of, hey, I don't want to be like my parents were, or
just like them.
This is all I know.
Yeah, I'm probably more like my dad. He was kind of hands off, 1 or 2 whoopings I can remember, and after that, we just talk.
Gotcha. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. So, how much stuff do you feel like you let them get away with, as opposed to stuff that you probably wouldn't have got away with as a child?
I think they get away with a lot, in a sense that, well, one, I'm home, so I see a lot more than my dad would have seen. But at the same time, I have a sensitive part to say, it's not really a big deal. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, it's not a really big, just don't lie to me. My biggest thing with the kids is do not lie to me. If you don't lie to me, we could pretty much get through most of the stuff. They're not, I remember one time Aaron got in a fight at school, and then he came home, he got mad, the boys were talking about him at school. He talked about this boy's hairline. So the boy started getting mad. And the boy was older than him.
The boy had a LeBron?
The boy had a toe-up hairline. So Aaron said somebody's hairline. All the other kids started laughing. But this boy's in 8th grade. Aaron's in 5th grade. So the boy took the basketball and threw it at Aaron. Bopped him in the head. Now he really embarrassed. So Aaron comes home, grabs the freaking watermelon knife, and goes back outside and is like coming up to the boy. Now everybody's freaking out like, oh my God, this little 5th grader got a knife. So then they start taping it on their phone. So now they taping him with the knife, with the phone coming at the boy. Now he ain't like trying to stab him, but he's just out there with it, holding it like this, looking crazy. Right?
That's a 2018 thing to do.
And so they're all running like, oh my God, what's going on? The 8-year-olds got back on his bike, right? The 8-year-old got back on, the 8th grader got back on his bike like, I'm getting out of here. This boy's crazy. Not really scared, but right. So as soon as I get home, there's 3 or 4 little kids knocking at my door. Look what Aaron did! All with the video. And I'm like, really, boy? So then I had explained to him the multiple reasons why I'm upset. 1, you taking a knife outside? Are you crazy? Right. 2, do you not hear these stories of these little kids getting shot with toys Forget a real knife, a toy gun, a toy knife, or a Skittles tea.
Right.
Like, you don't even have to have something to be in that situation. What happens when the police are called? They don't want to even discuss the situation. They pull up on you with guns raised. What are you going to do in that situation now with your knife in your hand looking crazy? Like, I wanted him to understand the seriousness of what he was doing, not only to the kid, but for his own life.
Right.
And then the fact that we have it on video. So I had to go to each one of these little kids and be like, delete, delete, delete. You're not showing nobody this video. I'm very sorry. I promise it won't happen again, because now my kid could be viral on World Star. Seriously.
That part. And
Then that affects my job.
so far.
And how many other things can happen from one dumb decision? So he probably should have got a whooping about that, now that I think about it. But I was more...
He didn't get a whooping.
That was probably a whoopingable offense.
But it was, I guess it was more damage control than...
It was damage control and a teaching moment. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't so much like to whoop him. I mean, I should have maybe. But more so, I wanted him to understand the different dynamics of how dangerous that was and what a bad decision that was to make. And, we've never had that problem again, but it was scary.
I'm sure. Chat room said that you had Chinese food for Thanksgiving coming up.
What?
Yeah.
Listen to this. This gets even crazier than that. My parents were non-denominational. My mom was Jehovah's Witness. My dad was Seventh-day Adventist. So I didn't even get holidays. So, like, I didn't get my first Christmas till I was like 17, 18, grown. So you're right. I mean, we didn't do big Thanksgiving meals. The turkey, all that stuff was new. Once I moved to Georgia, started dating and started hanging out with my boyfriend's family, it was like, okay, this is what people really do. It's not just on TV. So yes, I did have Chinese food and pizza, for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Christmas was a normal day.
Oh.
And now I go overboard. Like, my house is like Christmased up, Thanksgiving, Halloween. I want all of that because it's such foreign to me to experience that. I want the kids to have it because of, the religious views. And I just felt like I missed out. I couldn't say the Pledge of Allegiance as a kid. Even though my dad was in the military, I couldn't say the Pledge of Allegiance because he was also a Seventh-day Adventist. It's the most insane thing ever. So he's like, the government, this and that. I'm like, but you're part of, this don't make sense to me. How come I got to get no Santa, no Easter Bunny? This makes no sense. This is your religion.
So you was the first Kaepernick. You was like, you was Kaepernick in his school. Like, yeah, I can't do this. I mean, hit you with that Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Like, no, we are not doing this.
Man, we was washing feet on Friday and Saturday nights.
Let me see. Jeffrey L. Miller in the chat room said he didn't get no whooping. Hell no.
In retrospect, I was more scared at the time, and I think I was in that kind of panic damage control mode. Then I need to whoop you.
He also said he needs a retroactive whooping when you get home, just as a reminder.
Just in case you were thinking about it again.
Just in case. I'm pretty sure I didn't catch something, so this is a whooping for that day and anything
else I might have missed
up until this point. Yeah.
This is just your quarterly whooping to encapsulate.
I feel like we got those.
The quarterly whooping just because?
I feel like we got a whooping sometimes just over some things that might not have been major in that way, but it was something that she felt like she might have, if she missed it, I'm gonna make up for it just in case. I thought you got away with something, so you're gonna get these hands. that part. And so, what's your stance on them dating?
On my kids dating?
Yeah.
I mean, Akira's about to be 17, so she just is like oblivious to boys right now, which I'm kind of glad about. But then I'm also like, I wonder if she's gonna like girls. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to keep like this feel on her because like I'll be like, oh, he's cute, right? I guess. But like she's into like Asian K-pop culture right now. So like all the posters on her wall are like little Korean boys. So I'm like, okay, we got boys on the wall. But she definitely like there's no boys she's texting. I go through her phone. I tried to ask, like, hey, anybody like you at school? She went through this one incident at school, and I think it jaded her. The boy met her at lunch and was like, you are so beautiful to me, this and that, kept getting in her head. Every day at lunch, he'd come up to her and say, you're so beautiful, Akira. I really want to talk to you. So one day, he gets her, he takes her by the hand, he drags her over to his table. Remember, she's super shy, right?
Right.
He drags her over to his table. He gets her in front of all of his friends and says, look how beautiful Akira is. They all looking like, yeah, she's really pretty. And then he kisses her hand, and he was like, you're just amazing to me. So then, like she said, she didn't see him for a few days. And she said then the next time she was at lunch, she's kind of looking for him because she done got all this attention from him now. She sees him with another girl, kissing her hand and bringing him over to the lunch table. And she was like, Mom, I think I realize he just does that to everybody, and he just likes the attention, and I'm over it. And so then, like, I think her little feelings got hurt. But it's part of the game, you know? You got to learn that.
Because, I mean, coming up, I used to write the same letter to all...
to all the girls.
Here you go. This was easy.
Copy and paste.
Change the name.
Erase.
Here you go. Look, this
Do
is
you
dope.
like me? Circle yes or no. Susie. Oops, not Susie.
No, yes, no, yes. Well, I like her better than this one. Hey, so what's going on?
That's funny.
It's just how it was. And so I guess at what point do you, because you've been through your dating stages, and you know what to expect. You know what's coming. You have an idea about what's coming. I guess it's different for a man to teach his son the game or whatever. Whereas, like,
I just teach my son to be a gentleman. You know, I like, he opens up my door. I'll stand in front of the door till he opens it. He got it now, so he'll open the door. He opens my car door. You know, he'll come gets all the groceries out of the car. And so, like, that's more so where I'm looking to kind of move him, is just making sure that he has an awareness of women, to be polite. And he has a lot of sisters, so I'm always telling him, even though they're mean to you, they pick on you, you know, there's certain things you can't say, certain things you can't do. No, don't hit them back. And that was a hard time. When there was a girl picking on him in school, there was a hard fight, because my Aaron's dad was like, no, whoop her ass. Like, if she hits you, you're going to fight her back. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Erica, she's hitting him actively. Like, he just needs to fight back. And I was like, no, he's going to get suspended. I already know how this ends.
Right.
Right? Like, and so we had a big argument about that, because we had, the mom in me is like, no, don't fight, go tell the teacher. And he's like, that's a punk move. You know, you teaching him to be a little punk. Oh, go hide, go run and tell somebody. If she's hitting him and he told her to stop already and she keeps hitting him, then he needs to hit her back.
Wow.
So what do you do? Do you hit her back? Do you not? We arguing. Now the kids in the middle looking at us both like, just don't know what to do.
No, we weren't. I mean, hitting girls back was definite no. Like, that part hadn't changed at all. Like, that's just what it was. It was never an
Even
option.
a question.
No, it was never an option. But at the same time, like, you know, talking to my wife, she was like, I've been told to never hit a dude. In no circumstance, to never ever hit a
period.
dude. Just because you never, like, you see it in a lot of situations where there's a woman and she's like bashing this dude, and the guy's kind of like chilling
Taking
out,
it.
and it's just bashing and hitting him and talking crazy and talking about his mama and talking about everything else and talking about how little his thing is now and you know, just beat him to death, and then all of a sudden it's just like, wow. And then you be like, oh my gosh,
where'd it come from? But right.
And like, I understand, like, no, you're not supposed to do that. And I understand what, you know, she was told from her mom, like, listen, you're not supposed to do that, just because most people don't know where that breaking point is.
Right.
And so wherever it is for that person, you know, you just never.
You don't want to find it.
ever want to find it. And I mean, I tell, like, any of my cousins or anybody like that, like, listen, if you feel yourself getting to that point, and that's a whole different part of the game. You know, if anybody can take you to that point, then you probably don't need to be with them.
That's true. And
so, like, I have conversations with some of my younger cousins about girls and stuff like that, and I remember coming up trying to have conversations with my brother about some things, but not to the point where I just got him to the point where I didn't want to get hurt.
Right.
Not everything that I knew and not everything that I was doing, because it was a part of me that felt like I didn't want to corrupt him.
Okay.
Because that was my vice coming up.
What, your temper?
It was women, no.
Oh, women.
It was women, yeah.
Oh, you didn't want to corrupt them by telling them the...
I didn't want to, yeah, hey, this is all you got to do. And next thing you know.
Oh, God.
Like, I mean, I didn't want that to be it. Now, it is a part of me that wonders how my mom would have done if she had girls instead of boys.
Sounds like she would have been just as tough, though.
It wouldn't be surprising. It wouldn't be surprising.
Sounds like she'd have been just as tough.
But wow. All right, so let's move on. You think you'll be more lenient with Aaron when it comes to him dating than...
Probably so. I mean, with girls, you just feel like you have to be super protective. I think women tend to, obviously, seems to be more emotional, so we act on our emotions and our love, and men kind of more carnal. So with men, it's not so much the feelings are involved. With women, her heart, her emotions, her feelings are going to be involved, and she's going to make a decision based on who tells her the right thing. Where with my son, he's probably going to be the one telling the right thing, and he's got a mouthpiece on him already, so I already know he's going to be trouble. I already know. So the key with him is to say, listen, would you want someone to treat your sisters like that? Would you want someone to treat your mom like that? And that's kind of the way and the approach that I have to go. And I feel like me and his relationship will be different, because I'm going to, hey, what's going on with this girl? You like her? We went to the school dance, and he didn't want to dance with nobody but me. So, I'm still in that good mode where it's mommy's your first girlfriend,
Okay.
But he's starting to, these girls is getting a little frisky. The girls get a lot friskier than the boys. They chase the boys way sooner than the boys be chasing them.
Oh, man. So, I mean, I want you to feel, I know you're probably going to feel some kind of way when he's like, hey, Mom, no, I don't want to go to the movies with you this time. I want to go with Sheila. I mean, hopefully her name not Sheila. That's her old name, but you know what I mean. And, hey, guys, we are talking. This is part 2 of raising kids in the age of information and injustice, and we're here with Erica Tiffany on Status Network, brought to you by on live TV, brought to you by Status Network. And if you got it, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or you just want to chime in and say what's up, the phone number is 470-251-4343. That's what. Okay. So look, yeah, it's getting. I've heard that of course they're developing a little earlier, getting a little bit more aggressive, and part of that might just be the location, because.
Well, I think too we were trying to talk about it last week that not only are the kids a little bit faster, but information spreads a lot faster now with social media. So if 2 people got caught kissing under the bleachers or caught making out or doing something, it might take a good week before the whole school really knows about it. Everybody kind of talking. Now these kids are taking videos and sending it airdrop through the whole school, and something's passed along. There's a text message or a group chat. Everybody knows everything really quickly. So things develop at such a hyper speed, and kids are peer pressured at such a high speed that they can all get invited to a party in the drop. I remember we got invited to a party. It was word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
You had to tell somebody, where's it going to be at? You might have had a flyer. Remember the flyers? Mm-hmm. Ain't no flyer parties no more.
None of those. And even back then, like the only thing that spread real fast was the word of a fight.
Yeah.
Fights got around the school real fast, but it wasn't about like, you passed your note, and that's what it was. But did nobody see you pass the note? Didn't nobody know about the note?
Not no more. Now it's a text message that got screenshot and put into a group chat, so everybody knows such and such asked out such and such, and now they go together.
And I said no.
I said or
no.
Who playing who? Because ain't she supposed to be going out with such and such? Like now it's all kind of drama.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think the conversation will be the first time when Aaron says, "Hey, I want to go out with X, Sheila"?
Well. First of all, it'll be, hopefully, he'll tell me about it and we will go together, and I can take him to a movie and it can be a PG-13 And I think like as long as it's a controlled environment, I don't mind the kids going out and hanging out a movie. Because in the beginning, as long as what I think it is, it's supposed to be innocent. You're just going out to a movie. You want to go hang out, you know, and as long as you're facilitating that in a safe environment, I think you're good. When the kids start wanting to hide stuff, so now he's lying, telling me he's going out with Bobby, but he's really going to meet Sheila. And now they talking about doing something after the movie and pretending like the movie was late. Like now you start getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about like 14.
Okay.
13, 14.
Couple more years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you may chaperone it. You may still be chaperoning
at 14,
at this point.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like, hey, can you drop us off at the mall? Or that ain't happening?
You know, I wish I could say there was a specific time or a date, but I think it's emotional maturity. How mature is your kid? I mean, when you say what age can you leave your kid home alone? Some people leave their kids home alone at 7 or 8. Mm-hmm. Some of them don't leave their kids home till they're 15, 16. I think every kid is different, and you got to know your kid well enough. I let my kid cook at 10. He cooks full meals on the stove and in the oven. Not everybody's doing that, right? So I think it's the emotional maturity of the kid to say, do I trust you? Can you make good decisions?
Right.
Have you made good decisions in the past? And then you base it on that. And if he's making good decisions, you know, maybe I'll be a little more lenient.
Okay.
My daughter's old enough now. She asked to Uber. She'll Uber to like Marietta Square and go hang out with her girlfriends for a couple hours and Uber back. I let her go. I don't chaperone. And she comes back. I watch the Uber when she leaves. I watch the Uber when she comes back. And I trust her.
No detours.
No stops and pickups.
We don't. No, she can't stop and get no.
I got Find My Friends on her phone so
like
I can see where she's at.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that's one thing that
You had back
our
then.
parents didn't have.
No.
Like, shoot, if we wasn't there at payphone, then we wasn't getting. There wasn't no calls.
Not at all.
Made. And shoot, if they called home and the phone was off the hook, then it's just what it was.
It was what it was.
Straight busy signal. All right, so we right on time. Right on time. So sex.
Whoa.
It just jumped right on into it. No, Sean. What is that? Hey, if you just try to call back. My bad. No, I didn't see that thing. I'm gonna turn this ring up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Sorry about whoever tried to call. Go ahead and try to call back. 470-251-4343. Oh. My bad, Pops. No, I didn't see that. I wasn't trying to ignore your call. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so what do you think that talk would be like?
Oh God. Well, me and my daughter have kind of sort of had the talk, but it's very uncomfortable talk, especially with the girls. It's like, Mom, do I really, like, what are we doing? This is crazy. And more so now when we talk about it, we talk about it in the sense of what other kids are doing and how she thinks it's just doing too much. Mm-hmm. Or there's a girl that's pregnant at her school, or like, so we're having the conversation kind of inadvertently. Aaron is a little bit different. We haven't had the talk, but there's been some situations where I'm like, okay, I have to kind of get into some things. And it's just, I'm leaving that to his dad. Honestly, I'm just going to leave that whole conversation to his dad. Obviously, with girls, once they hit puberty, there's conversations you just have to have because, you know, you're going to have it. I mean, the vaccinations, they wanted to give her a vaccination for HPV. And me and her dad's wife got into an argument because the dad's wife was telling her, like, you need to get this HPV vaccination. And why isn't your mom letting you get it? And I'm like, first of all, it's for HPV is an STD, which means it's sexually transmitted, which means she's not having sex. So I'm not about to stick her with needles. I'm against vaccinations and all that stuff anyway. So unless it's mandatory to get in school, I don't want you to have nothing. I don't even get a flu shot. So when they were talking about putting this extra shot that they just approved 2 years ago, I was like, no. So the wife was telling and the wife is not like me. So, right? So the wife has a totally different viewpoint on that stuff. So she's scaring Akira to the point that Akira called me from school like, can I go get the shot today? I was like, go get what shot? She's like, remember that HPV shot you didn't let me get last year? I've just been researching and I don't want to get cancer. Are you kidding me?
You gonna get cancer like right now?
Like, so I asked her, are you having sex? No. So then how are you going to get cancer from a sexually transmitted disease that you have to get from having sex? I don't know. Well, that's why me and you don't need to be having this conversation and tell your stepmom to back up. And me and her got into like a big fight. And me And her dad, because her dad was like, that's her stepmom. They can have any conversation they want. No, the hell they can't. Not with my daughter, they can't. It'd be different if I wasn't in her life. She lives with me 5 days out the week, and I'm with y'all on the weekends, right? So every other weekend, y'all see her 4 days out the week. So for 4 days out the month. Don't step in and try to tell me what to do with my kid. That's a problem. And with co-parenting, it's a hard thing when you're dealing with step and, you know.
Oh, yeah. 710 to Slickville. What's going on?
Nothing happening. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. I heard you ask Erica about that first date for her son.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you had shared with her some of your stories about some of your dates when you got to be 20 years old, some of the stuff you had to go through.
Oh, well, not yet. Those hadn't come up yet.
20. Okay.
Yeah, I was 20, 25, 24, 25.
You wasn't still getting chaperoned, was you?
No, well,
No.
I was getting chaperoned on my hip. My phone was
buzzing.
Yeah, like, hey, call me when you get there.
What, at 20-something?
Yeah, call me when you get to her house. Call me when you get.
Wow.
Like, I was going from Hot Springs to Little Rock and going on a date. She wanted me to call her when when I either picked up the girl or got to the movies. But I was like, man, that is truly a buzzkill. Because at that point, like,
the girl's right there.
I've done so much between the time I left for school and then the time. And so it was just like, I would forget. And, I mean, because
it's not going on, right?
Hey, Erica, this is the part I wanted to share with you. This was at age 20. He's a sophomore. He's a sophomore down at Arkansas State. I happened to be at the house. He asked his mom if he could go out to the movies that night, take this little girl to the movies. And she said, sure, call her. He called a little girl, get on the phone. Hey, Sheila, my mama want to talk to you.
What?
And so she gets on the phone with the little girl. This is his mom, and she's always talking about his mom. Some of the things she did that kind of like questionable in some of our minds, but she would get Sheila on the phone. Hey, Sheila, I understand you want to go to the show with Jason tonight. Yeah, Miss Brown, I do. Well, is your mama home? She said, yeah, well, put her on the phone. And so Sheila puts her mom on the phone and says, yeah, this is Miss Brown. I understand your daughter want to go to the show with Jason. And she must say, yeah, Miss Brown, she did. Well, you need to have her ready early so she could come by the house so I could meet her because I don't let Jason go out with anybody.
Oh!
At 20 years old, and it blew me away. Now, the two things about that. Her dad was old school. His picture was right next to old school in the dictionary. And that's one of the things that I give her a lot of credit today for doing things like that, which is a lost art now in parenting. Parents don't get to know the kids that their children are hanging out with. And that's very admirable now just to think about the nerve that you would have to call someone's parent and let them know that you needed to meet their daughter, son, or whatever before the two of them got together and went out. Now, they could do anything once they leave home, but at least you would have an identity factor. And then the two moms would actually have spoken, which is unheard of these days.
It is unheard of.
And I think that that type of attitude, like I say, it's unheard of today. We need to bring some of that kind of stuff back. Just for a boy, not a boy, he was a man. He could have went to the army.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a dad and mom being careful for their daughter, but that's
his
deep.
mom put him through the ringer in a lot of different ways, and that was one positive one, and I'm sure it helped develop him into who he is today, and I appreciate that. I ain't gonna keep you. I want to hear from the mailman, so I got to get out the way.
I love it.
I talk to y'all a little later because I know you're going to dog you out.
All right, Dad. I'll let you. Appreciate the call. But yeah, that was my dating. Like even after school, like call me when you get there. If I forgot, because I mean my mind wasn't on my mama when I got to. I was on what I was gonna do and how I was gonna make this thing happen.
Right.
Yeah, phone be blowing up while we in the theater or whatever. Listen to the voicemails on the way home. Why ain't you answering your phone? And they just getting progressively worse.
Oh my God.
I don't know why the hell you can't answer your damn phone.
So that was like your other girlfriend.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Blowing you up.
Look, you don't answer this damn phone, I'm gonna call it till it blow the hell up. I'm gonna call it till the battery die. Like these are the voice messages that are progressively getting worse. Every voicemail got progressively worse.
That's crazy.
And like I said, it's like if I was in that situation as a parent, yes, of course I have to like we talked about before, trusting that you did a good job and knowing that I wouldn't be out here picking up girls that lived in horrible neighborhoods and stuff like that. Or
because you knew your mom's standards. So I mean, I'm sure it had to shape how the women you chose, because you already knew mom was gonna give them the third degree.
Oh, absolutely. Like I was the one that was like, hey, while I might like that shirt you got on,
you might want to
go ahead and pull that up a little bit. Like I appreciate all the cleavage, but pull that up and pull that dress down.
That's great. I mean,
yeah, I always knew that. Like,
yeah,
I knew we couldn't get away. I couldn't get away with that. But let me see what else we have. And so, like when we had those talks about, like my mom had those talks about sex with us, like, oh well, if you're gonna be doing something, make sure you got a raincoat.
Oh
like,
God!
It's really not raining outside. Like I'm dumb. I'm completely oblivious to what's actually going on. Like I don't need no raincoat. That's a dumb analogy. Not thinking that what a raincoat really was. And then she was like, don't be out here doing the.
Oh.
That was her phrase. Don't be out here doing the.
Meow.
So,
whoa! I guess it's different with boys. It's different.
Savage.
It's different with boys. And maybe I'll be like that. I can't see it now, but maybe there's a level of comfortability that'll come.
I think it was that, and then a feeling of she had to.
Right.
Like it was no sugarcoating in her anyway.
Right.
But so just a sense of having to. I feel like I have to talk to them like that, and even like her. Anybody that talks to her tell you like she is straight from the hip. Just whatever it is she's saying, that's not going to be. It's not going to be any sugarcoating.
No playing around.
No, none of that. No beating around the bush. If she want to say it, she gonna say it, and it's however the first way it comes out of her mind. Not
right.
No filter, zero filter, complete savage.
Wow.
Complete savage. But look, dang, we got 10 minutes left. I did want to get to this segment called My First Time. And before we get to that segment, this segment is brought to you by Beyond Clean Cleaning Services, your first and last stop for all your corporate cleaning needs. Have you ever been in a not-so-clean office building, been in a funky office bathroom that smelled like a truck stop, or even got to your desk and the trash from last night was still there? If you answered yes to any of those questions, you need to call Beyond Clean Cleaning Services at 708-829-4102. Beyond Clean Cleaning Services have been taking care of corporate cleaning needs in the Chicagoland, Indiana area for almost 10 years. Superior service is their product, and your building is not clean unless it's beyond clean. There we go. So, my first time. It's not 100% what you think it's going to be. It's just my first time of random things that's happened in your life.
Okay. I'm ready.
And so some of it is, like I said, it's just random. It's stuff that came to my mind, and you can ask some if you want. But your first time disciplining the kids, what was that for?
Man, I have no idea. I mean, with my daughter, it was lying. I remember specifically her first real whooping was about lying. And I can't even remember what she lied about at this point, but it was bad. It was something really, really bad. And I mean, I had called her dad. I called her grandma. I called everybody. Like, listen, she's lying. She completely just fed up, made this up. And I had to let her know, like, we're not going to have that relationship. You're not going to lie to me.
Now, did that whooping hurt you more than it hurt them?
Absolutely. Because it was, it was my baby girl.
Really?
Absolutely. I wanted to cry. I was sad. I was like, dang, we got to this point. Because she might have been 8, maybe 7 or 8 before she got a whooping. I mean, you might have got like a couple taps as a toddler. Like, but like a whooping, like, get the belt. You're going to be naked, and I'm about to tear that butt up. And I was really like, dang, we got to this point. But honestly, after that, maybe 3 other times, and she's probably never been whooped again since then.
You always assume that was a lie. This is gonna hurt me more than this is gonna hurt you.
Emotionally, like, you know what's bad when you just want to hug them after. You just like, just come here. We both gonna like hug it out.
Never
like,
got that sense.
No.
No.
Well, you just like, I feel bad. Like, we're gonna talk about it. Like, I always want to talk after the whooping because there's no anger anymore. Like, I'm not angry with you. But I want to talk to you, let you know it's okay, and I want you to understand why, and I want you to understand why this is not okay.
Oh my gosh, yeah, never.
Totally different.
Never felt that afterwards. So your first time driving?
My first time driving. Oh Lord, I was in a beat up old Ford Probe.
Yeah, girl.
And I mean, I had to like put the lights. I had to connect the cord to make the light turn on. And it's funny, 'cause my parents never taught me to drive. Like, that wasn't a thing. And so it was like learning to drive was all on my own. And I remember it was just ridiculously, everything was hard. Backing up, going forward, just insane. Bad experience.
Oh my gosh. I remember my first time driving. We were coming from, it was probably about a 20-minute ride, but most of it was all highway.
Oh my gosh.
And it was my dad and my brother, and my dad came to pick me up from my mom's house. And he was like, well, Jason, you gonna drive today? And I'm like,
just like that.
Oh, okay. Like, I think I'm trying to remember if I had my license or not. Dad,
probably a permit.
I might have had my license. I might have just gotten them. But I'm talking about, I was riding and I was squeezing the steering wheel so hard.
Absolutely.
And I was just driving. I was holding that steering wheel. I'm talking about, and my brother didn't make it no better because he's like, Jason, he still had a real high pitched voice at that time. You getting passed by everybody. I was like, dude. Like, I think when we finally got to my grandmother's house.
Your knuckles are white.
I'm talking about I still had the permit. Real white knuckle driving. Like, I'm talking about, like, my arms hurt when I let go. I was so nervous, but.
Yeah, it was rough. First time driving was rough.
That was nerve wracking for me. I feel like, I don't know if they was as nervous as I was, but I'm talking about, like, I'm talking 10 and 2. I'm locked in, squeezing the hell out of that steering wheel.
I got one for you. Your first time you got caught cheating.
Dude. You know what? It was when I was writing all those letters.
Really?
Yeah, I was writing out when I wrote all those letters, and the girls, like, I caught myself kind of talking to one of them, but still trying to
talk to another
bring
one?
some other ones in, and yeah, it was just.
It was not a good.
It was like, well, didn't you write the same letter to? Huh? Well, that did kind of look like my handwriting, but I don't know. Like, that was probably. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. That was probably the worst. That was probably the worst one too, because I ain't know how to get out of none of that stuff at that point.
Not then.
Nope. What's the first time you had to deal with any racism?
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's pretty traumatic for me. Coming up, like I said, in California and just having military parents, I kind of want to say I was oblivious to a little bit. I believe it existed, but I kind of was under the impression that it was over-exaggerated a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was here in Georgia, and I was living out in Alpharetta, and my daughter went to school, and it was mostly a white school, and the kid told her at school, she probably was in about 7th grade, the kid told her at school that she looked like a pig. She came home and was like, Mommy, this kid told me I look like a pig. She was crying. I was like, I didn't understand it. Like a pig, you're skinny, you're small. I don't get it. And she was like, no. He said, I look like a pig who's been rolling around in the mud, and that's why my skin is so dark.
Wow.
And I almost lost it. I was like, what? And these kids, literally, there's some of those kids in that school who had never seen black people up close, up front, like besides on TV. Like, they were so isolated in this Johns Creek, Milton area, or the 1%, where they just hadn't seen it. So I went up to school, and, they were so apologetic, but they wouldn't allow me to get with the parents. Like, well, where's the parent? We're going to handle it. No, we need to talk. Like, your kid has some issues. Wouldn't let me do it. And then, the next year I took her out of the school. I was like, she's got to be around at a school with people who look like her. Mm-hmm. the education system was better, the school was better, but I refused. I said, it's not worth it. Because what she's gaining in the education, she's learning, and she's losing in emotional self-esteem.
Absolutely.
So that was rough. I've had some other personal experiences, but they would take longer than a few minutes to talk about. But
oh man, like my primary when I was working at Regions Bank had to be about 05. I was working in the back because the drive-through. I was good too. Boom, 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 boom. And this guy called and he was like, "Yeah, man, speak to the manager." "Oh, she's busy." "Oh, can I speak to the assistant manager?" "Oh, no, she has a customer as well." He was like, "Well, who am I talking to?" I was like, "This is Jason." He's like, "Oh, you're that friendly colored fella that works in the back."
Colored fella.
Colored fella.
Wow.
And I had to take the phone away from my head because I was just like,
did this really happen?
he just called me colored in 05. Like, he just called me colored, and I'm talking about like. I almost did not want to go to lunch. I'm getting a little amped right now, but I almost didn't want to go to lunch just because I was so taken aback by like this dude calling me colored. Now, he was like, "Yeah, you're the friendly colored guy," but at the same time, I'm like, "Damn, dude."
Straight up, just.
I'm not eating today. They was like, "Yeah, you need to go to lunch. Go ahead and go to lunch. It's your time." The time that I went to lunch is when he came in and left, and I was just like, I need to see who this is that was talking about colored, who's still using colored in 2005. The hell's wrong with you? Okay. Look, so I got 2 minutes. So when's the first time that you passed some gas in front of your mate?
I would say, whoa. It's usually, the first time is usually an accident.
You were laughing like that?
Well, this is how I do it, and this is how I always get in trouble. It's because I try to pretend like it didn't happen. So I might try to make some other noise. It'd be like, bloop. Like, ooh. And then they'd be like, did you just... And then you start laughing because now it's funny.
Yeah.
And then you're like, baby, I don't know what happened. Try to be cute with it. I'm sorry, I don't know my stomach. It was the chili we had.
Oh my gosh. That is
But
hilarious.
once you cross that threshold...
Yeah, ain't no going
it's
back.
over.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't play.
After the first time, like I mean, after the first time, you might as well. Like, it's just like, hey, as long as you're not blasting them out all the time,
lifting
like,
your leg up to the
right,
side.
like you're not on them.
Oh no.
I have to tell mine like, hey,
there's some times when it's still inopportune. He's like, my bad for ruining the moment, but you pushed on my stomach too hard.
He's in here too.
Uh-oh.
There we go. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Look, man, that time once again went by fast. We had a couple more, but we'll probably get to those another day. But look, hey, if you all going to be in town September 30th, that's a Sunday between 3 o'clock and 7 p.m., join us for our Status Network launch party and empowerment concert. There's still vendor space available, and we have multiple TV and radio stations that's going to be out there. We got giveaways. We got free food. Like I said, free food. It is free entry. So we got live performances, bounce houses for the kids. The address 777 Cleveland Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia. Come on out. If you have any questions, you want to contribute, or you got anything you want to ask, go ahead and call 770-299-3899. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We will be back next week. That'll be the October 1st, and we got a good show planned for you that day as well. But until next time, we're gonna holler at you. Take it easy. Peace in these streets.